on another gorgeous day here in beautiful Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. And today's talk is all about forgiveness. Now, I must apologise for running a little bit late today. My little guy started his first day of tennis coaching. It's all pretty exciting. I got to meet the coach and everything like that. So please, please, please accept my apology. Hey, how are you? Hey, Cindy. Just wanted to talk to you today a little bit about forgiveness and what my interpretation it is about forgiveness and what I've learned along my journey as well. I'm sure that we've all had times where, there's times where you felt neglected, probably rejected, mistreated, emotional, maybe physical abuse, being despised, used, ability to trust. All of these things come with some hurt that may have happened, whether it's been in your childhood or whether it's been, at work, a bullying incident, at school, or perhaps you weren't included. Hey, John. Hey, Cindy. You weren't picked, you weren't included, you weren't, someone's hurt you, they've said something in passing and they perhaps might not have meant it to feel as harsh as what it did, but you've taken it that way and they may not even be aware of that as well. Remember that nothing has meaning except the meaning that we give it. So it's up to us to choose the meaning. But sometimes in our lives, and I know myself with my own childhood, it was quite tough. I did suffer emotional and physical abuse, but I now see it as a gift. And until I could look at it as the gift, it was just going to totally absorb me. So then I did a big journey, and it was on my healing journey through personal development and all that type of thing, and with some incredible mentors to help me realize that actually it was a gift. Because without going through those things, those traumas, those disasters or the hurt or the pain, how on earth can we build resilience and strength? And they're two key attributes that we use to overcome adversity. So some people can have the same adversity, but why is it that two people having the same adversity put different meanings to things? Perhaps could it be because of the strength and resilience they gained through previous torments? Absolutely. One of the key things, when the person has hurt you, yes, it builds up energy in yourself. And by hanging on to that energy, it's like walking around with sandbags or some sort of massive weight carrying on your back. It's like I said to my ladies on the weekend as we did an incredible challenge on the beach, imagine they were carrying cups of water to fill our buckets. And they only really had to go a short distance to do that. But because, they had to put a hat on, some beads on, it was a short distance, they could fill up as many cups as they wanted to fill up the bucket. But it was still challenging because there were obstacles in the way that they had to do, and there was rules that they needed to follow. But what if it was longer? What if I'd asked them to walk 10 kilometers down to the ocean to fill that same cup up to go back? Would that have been a lot harder, more challenging? Absolutely, certainly would be. But what if you could take that distance away or remove that weight? What would that do to your energy and to your soul? Would that allow you to rise up, to shine? Absolutely. And for your energy to come alive again. Hey, Darlene, nice to see you again. Absolutely. So that's what we do by forgiving others, because we don't know what journey that the person that has hurt us has been on. Perhaps like in my case, my mum could only love me so much. What if she was doing the best she possibly could? What if she had her own traumas, of which she did do, that she hadn't overcome as yet? So what if she was just learning and she was putting that on me? And I did receive a lot of gifts. So what if you could openly and honestly feel their pain and feel it within you to forgive them? Just what would it do for you? Would it remove the energy and allow you to vibrate higher? Absolutely. And I know that it can be really difficult to do that, but it is like putting down the weights. Because if you can try and think of it from the other person's point of view, where they might not have been skilled like you, they might not have learnt some lessons, they might not have known that they've hurt. So a good practice to do, which is something that I did when I was learning to forgive my mum, it was pretty in my face, but it totally worked. So I spent the time and I wrote a letter, and it was addressed to her, but I never ever gave it to her. But it just allowed me to put down all the things that she'd ever done or said or how she'd hurt me down on the piece of paper so I could actually see it. And yes, it's bringing it back again. Hey, Darlene, lovely to see you. Hey, Jeannie. And yes, it's in your face again and it's bringing it back up again. But by writing it down and asking, hey, why is it that you did these things to me? It's actually taking that energy away from you and giving it back to them. Okay? It's a really, really, really powerful process. And when I actually did do that for my mum, because I know that when my adopted mum would come and visit me, you know, without me even realizing, I had this fear built inside of me and this anger and this frustration. Hey, Sue. And whenever she would come, I didn't even realize, but I was this scared little girl. So when I'm asking you to write this stuff down, it's actually allowing you, oh, it keeps disconnecting. Wow. I'll continue. It's allowing you to actually allow your inner child to forgive them. Not just you saying it, but it's your inner child. Because for a long time, I'd said I'd forgiven my mum, but still when I would see her, I'd still freak out. It wasn't until I worked on my inner child and I took myself there to an incident that I clearly remember where there was a lot of pain when I was a little girl. And I see that little girl and I see the fear and the frustration and the scared little girl. And then I take her to the other side, to where I am now, to show that little girl, to hold that little girl's hand and to help her walk through and say, hey, honey, everything works out. It's all fine. So remember, it's the inner child that we're trying to forgive. Now, a really good practice to get into that is a forgiveness prayer is the Ho'oponopono. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. And I remember hearing about this many years ago, but I was reminded of it again at a Tony Robbins event. He's my wonderful mentor. And what it means is there was this gentleman, there was these, what do you call it? Governors that were looking after an asylum in Hawaii, and their job was to rehabilitate the criminally insane, and whatever they were doing wasn't working and everyone was resigning and no one could retain that position. So then there was this gentleman that came along and said, look, he'll put his hand up and he'll help out, but he's not actually going to attend the prison. You see, what he did is he actually had photos of all the prisoners and he would look into their eyes and he would do this practice that I'm about to do, looking into their eyes. And the process of doing this practice is not forgiving them as such. Well, it is, but it's clearing the slate, which actually works on your energy and frees you up. And that's what we want to do. We want to actually remove that energy so it has no bearing on us whatsoever. It's not going to slow us down. It's not going to provide the fear. Every time we're faced with a similar circumstance, we're not going to be reminded of it. It's not going to form a pattern because we're going to clear it. We're going to remove it and we're going to be free. And so what he found when he did this is one by one, the criminally insane people were rehabilitated and brought back into society, and they just could not believe it. This is from not even attending the prison. And he just looked into their eyes. So if you've got someone in your life right now that's either annoying you, or you've had some pain or discomfort, or you've had some sort of abuse, what if you could learn to trust and forgive and get your freedom back? Would that be something that you may be interested in? I thought so. So what I want you to do is to practice this Ho'oponopono practice. And it's a really, really simple process. Whilst you're doing this, if tears come up, tears are wonderful because they're our sign of healing. So when the tears come, allow the tears to flow. Don't let anyone comfort you, because the tears are designed to help in the whole healing process. Okay, so just be, and we call it so be it. In our wizard days. Okay, so what we're going to do, yes, yeah, Ho'oponopono, it's so amazing, Ainsley. So what we're going to do is we're going to picture or visualize the person that has caused you the pain and look into their eyes honestly, and you're just going to be so authentic, and you're going to say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. We're going to do it again. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And you're going to keep on repeating that time and time again until you actually feel a release and possibly tears come up. And when you're doing it, you're going to do it as slow or as fast as it is needed for you, because remember, it is your practice and no one can tell you exactly whether or not it's right or wrong. It is just your practice, and how you do it is the perfect way just for you. Okay, so you open up your heart. It is quite hurtful, and you look into their eyes and you go through the process. I'd really, really love, because I know we've all got someone in our lives that we would love to forgive. So I really want to hear the feedback from you thinking of that person and doing the Ho'oponopono, to just see the feedback as to what you felt and whether or not you felt free and relieved again. It's such a powerful process. And one other practice before we go is, as much as you're forgiving them, it's not about the forgiveness as such. It's more about removing the energy and cleaning the slate for yourself so you can grow. But another powerful thing, which I love to do, is mirror work. So, sometimes, is it possible that you could forgive yourself? Yeah. So could you think of 3 things that you might have done that you might not be happy about? But if you look in the mirror, it's reflecting back. So it comes back, it amplifies the forgiveness. It's like forgiveness on steroids. So if you've ever been late to picking up your children, or perhaps you didn't get dinner on time, or whatever it might be for you, it's okay. We all do things that aren't exactly perfect, but if you can find it in yourself to forgive yourself, and repeat it into the mirror and say, I just forgive myself for not picking my children up on time, or I forgive myself for not having dinner cooked on time, or whatever it is for you, and allow it to feel back into your heart and be open to it and watch what happens. I'm Tam from Why You Can Too. Let me help you discover your why by deciding that you can, so you can live a life that you deserve. Love transforming lives all across the globe. Look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday for our next episode, around about 5 p.m. Tune in then when I share some more tips and tools. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget, put any comments down below that you found that has come up, or send me some feedback, or put some comments on some of the things that you'd like to discuss as well for our upcoming episodes. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to your heart for taking the time to listen today. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.